Welcome back, everyone, for a mysterious father, Cobra Kai Season 5 Watch Party. Season 4 dropped a lot of information about the absent fathers of many characters. Miguel revealed that his father was now in Mexico. We saw young Johnny holding on to memories of his father. It even included a Coors Banquet beer can, which has been a Johnny staple ever since. We also received a few tidbits about Tory's father. It's almost a blink and you'll miss it moment, but they came from her Aunt Candace. When Tory got upset about Candace's nonsense, she said,
"Quick temper, just like your old man."
Then a few moments later, when discussing what happens when her mother does die, she says,
"Gracefully. Then what? You think your daddy's just gonna show up out of the blue?"
This is the first time there's ever been any reference to her father in any capacity. Now, there's a general practice in this type of storytelling, and Cobra Kai is no exception, that something mentioned or referenced in one season could come up in a larger context the following season. It's essentially a form of foreshadowing. So this begs the inevitable question. If Miguel's father is certain to show up in Season 5, could something occur with Tory's father as well? In fact, with Robbie reuniting and bonding with his father, Miguel meeting and bonding with his father in Mexico, what happens if Tory has to confront and deal with her father? Could we have stumbled on a theme of the entire season? Fatherhood has always been important in this series, and Season 5 will be a continuation of that. Except instead of surrogate fathers, it will have the characters dealing with their actual fathers. This brings us to Tory. Will her father show up? Well, she's certainly not looking for him, and her aunt seemed to imply that it wouldn't happen. And Tory didn't even acknowledge what she said. This is where it's worth looking if we have any external clues, and it just so happens we do. It's a little tricky though. In a recent interview with Collider, Peyton List was discussing how she occasionally has to invent a little backstory in her head to help fill out Tory's character, especially in regards to her home life. That's when she was asked,
"Have you thought much about her father?"
No, not much, because I have no clue. I have no clue what that is.
Well, that would appear to put an end to it. There's a problem though. Peyton isn't telling the truth. There's all sorts of tells of deception here, but perhaps the most straightforward is she denies, with her big smile, ever thinking about Tory's father in a show with strong fatherhood themes. So certainly it's something that she had thought about and maybe even has information on. In fact, just after, she said,
I don't even know what to believe anymore because everyone keeps messing with me even on set about it. People come up to me, different guys on set will come up to me and say that they're my father.
Okay.
So obviously she would think about her father because some guys were playing tricks on her. This strongly leads me to believe something about her father comes up in Season 5, but later in the season. Obviously it doesn't happen early in the season because then people couldn't play tricks on her. We can't say for sure if he will appear. Maybe we just get a little information about him, such as why he's gone, what he was like. But Tory's father is certain to come up in Season 5. That's why Peyton couldn't tell the truth. But this actually raises a very good question, a deeper question. What guy was it on set who would go up to Peyton List and say he's Tory's father? That's kind of weird, right? Obviously, it's not Billy or Ralph. She worked with Martin Cove several seasons now. That's not his style. There's also a little bit of additional information. You see, this YouTube video is actually edited, but the whole interview is available as a podcast. Listen to Peyton's entire answer.
I don't even know what to believe anymore because everyone keeps messing with me even on set about it.
Wait, what is an example now of someone messing with you on set? Who did they throw out there as an option?
Oh my gosh. I'm like, am I allowed to say this? Just people come up to me, different guys on set will come up to me and say that they're my father.
So before she talks about guys on the set coming up to her and saying they're her father, she was wondering if she was allowed to talk about it at all. That means it had to be an actor in Season 5 who has not yet been announced. Also, it's obviously an actor who likes to play jokes on people. Well, there's only one person that could be. Sean Kanan, aka Mike Barnes.
Well, you must be Mike Barnes.
Yeah, he's the one. For a little background, Sean Kanan is a massive prankster. He's been playing with the fans forever. You can go back in some of my earliest videos and see people talking about how Mike Barnes is confirmed for season 2. Of course, he never was. He was at the gym and told people he was training for Cobra Kai. Fans ran with it and they were fooled. To be clear, I didn't believe it, but people have a long history of not listening to me. So it's no doubt at all Sean Kanan would play similar jokes on the cast. He is absolutely the sort of person who would walk up to Peyton List and in the most serious tone of voice tell her he's playing Tory's father. This is a story Peyton was sharing here and why she was unsure if she could even talk about it.
Wait, what is an example now of someone messing with you on set? Who did they throw out there as an option?
Oh my gosh. I'm like, am I allowed to say this? Just people come up to me, different guys on set will come up to me and say that they're my father.
So there's a few important pieces of information we can deduce from all this. First off, Mike Barnes is back in season 5. There have been several strong clues already, but this is the strongest you'll get before an official announcement. But also, Mike Barnes is not Tory's father. That's important to emphasize. If Sean Kanan is playing jokes on Peyton and telling her he's her father, then that means obviously he's not. That is why Peyton shared the amusing story of people pranking her on set. Mike Barnes is a lot of things, but he's not Tory's father. Remember, he's not from the Valley and had to be flown in for the tournament. It makes little sense how 34 years later he would have an ex and 2 kids in the Valley when he never even lived there. So remember, Mike Barnes is not Tory's father. But there will be something about Tory's father. Obviously, because when Peyton said,
I have no clue what that is,
she was clearly not telling the truth. So whether he shows up or we just learn more about him in season 5, what can we guess based on the little info we do have? Well, Candace said he had a temper, but what kind of temper? Maybe he got pissed off at assholes trying to screw him over. You know, people like Candace? That would explain why she remembers him as such. She was always trying to con money from them and he would get mad at her. That could certainly be true, but it doesn't provide a whole lot of drama. The alternative is he was just a guy with a short fuse. That would provide some drama with Tory. He may not be on the level of Miguel's very bad man father, but he could be someone who wasn't the best to be around. But her other line is also interesting.
You think your daddy's just gonna show up out of the blue?
That would sort of imply that she thinks Tory may have some hope that her father would come back. So instead, she's throwing some cold water on her and asserting she's all they got. This sets up an interesting contrast. Perhaps Tory's father left them a number of years ago, and for a long time she was hoping he would come back. Can you imagine Tory kept a box of his things the same way Johnny did? Eventually her mom got sick, and obviously he never came to help them out. She's had to deal with that reality. Whoever he is, he's letting Tory take care of her dying mom and her brother by herself. So he's not a good guy by any stretch. It would be hard to show a father who cared less. But then at least he's not trying to get their money like Candace, so there's that. So that's the core of what we know. Mike Barnes will be back. Sean Kanan likes to mess with Peyton on set and say he's Tory's father. That means Barnes is not Tory's father. But still there will be something about Tory's father at some point in the season. It won't be early in the first 2 episodes or so. Otherwise, Kanan wouldn't be able to pull off that prank. So what do you think? Are you excited Sean Kanan is back? Have you ever fallen for any of his pranks? Plus, how do you think Tory's father really is? Leave a comment and let me know. Be sure you're subscribed, as there will be more coming. Have a great day. I'll see you at the next watch party.